Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Smart Kasi Vibes, and I'm your host, Kakana Sudupani. Now, today we're going to be talking all things sustainability. Now, sustainability, particularly within the Proptech space. So, with all these COP28 conferences going on in Dubai and all these UN Sustainable Development Goals, it's important for us to discuss this buzz topic in the world right now because it helps us frame our businesses not only from a moral standpoint but also from a business decision standpoint to say sustainability is not just a moral issue of how we can sustain the environment within which we can conduct business, but it's also a question of incorporating the sustainability aspect into business for profitability. So it's quite an interesting topic. Stick around if you enjoy this type of content, and let's get into the video. Right. Now, what is sustainability? Well, before I go there, we've just recently heard that about 50% of South Africa's drinking water is unsafe. Now, that's a sustainability problem because if 50% of our water is unsafe, it means that the people that are most impacted by this are the people in informal settlements. And so it's important for us to consider that sustainability is not only an environmental upliftment tool, it's also a socio-economic upliftment tool, because if you have clean, safe access to drinking water, then you have a healthier informal settlement, you have a healthier young population, and you don't have an overburdened health service, and you basically have the ability to sustain your environment as well as the citizens of that environment. So it's in the country's best interest to support sustainable businesses, right? So what is it in the PropTech space? So in the PropTech space, there's statistics that just came out that say about 80% of real estate people believe that sustainability is at the core of how business should take place going forward. And they're even making significant investments in the sustainable areas of their business so that they can grow their businesses with a clear picture of how they can stand the test of time, basically. So what is it in PropTech? So how can sustainability be included and promulgated through PropTech? Well, it's interesting because PropTech, in its very nature, includes sustainability within it. So one of the examples is that with your green infrastructure, these are ways within which we can build using smart natural materials. I watched a show a long time ago where they were using hemp to build houses, and it's quite an easily available. It's a derivative of cannabis, but that's a topic for another day. So using natural materials to build is quite a key aspect of how we can include sustainability within the PropTech space. Because remember, the PropTech space not only includes the technology, but it also includes the built environment, right? So, but it's not only in the construction sphere. It is built into the entire technology of how PropTech functions, because with this data-driven analytics, function, it basically reduces the costs and reduces the time that we sometimes use things unsustainably. So one example of this is with water, right? Smart irrigation could help a lot in the agricultural sectors as well, with reducing the operational costs and also then saving water. With things like waste management and waste disposal, we see a lot of waste in some of our informal settlements, and that's unfortunate. But with a smart data-driven model from PropTech, we can basically design systems that sort of reduce the waste that is produced, and perhaps create smart, recycling bays, right? So maybe recycling bays that can identify what is what and then separate them in the actual waste facility. So instead of conscientizing people to say, hey, when it's paper, throw it into the paper bucket. When it's plastic, throw it into the plastic bucket. You can say, okay, throw it all into the smart bucket that will identify the materials of the things that you've thrown in there, and then separate them accordingly so that you have, paper going to where paper needs to go to be recycled, plastic, bottle, etc. So smart technologies like that are really what can drive the PropTech space in the sustainability area. So another way is, of course, energy efficiency. So these are the three main ways. Of course, there must be more, but these are the three main ways that PropTech can really be incorporated to improve or increase sustainability. So with energy efficiency, we know that load shedding has been a struggle. It still is. And in most other African countries, power is non-existent in some respects. And so having a way to, you know, have businesses align themselves with renewable energy, sort of establishments, so that when they package their solutions to their clients, they can package them as, one thing, to say when you enter into a prop tech sort of space, you also have access to renewable energies that are plugged into that space, and they can be controlled through the prop tech space. So if you're designing buildings, for instance, smart buildings, you incorporate the smart solar, whatever, wind turbines, whatever you may choose for your renewable source of energy into the prop tech space, so that people have a seamless, trace from the property to the technology to the energy efficiency. So there's a quote here that I read about sustainability, and it says that sustainable real estate assets not only appeal to an environmentally friendly market, but they can also become resilient in the face of ever-changing regulatory landscapes. Now, what we know is that the regulation is changing. Oh, by the way, it's raining. So the regulations keep changing, and if your business does not adapt to sustainable models of business decision making, it becomes much more difficult to change